Thanks for joining Aso Briefing today. I am Haris Suraju, our top stories. President Bola Tinubu orders total security barricade over forest in Kwara State. FCT Minister Barrister Wike suspends Mandate Secretary Education. Central Bank of Nigeria retains monetary policy rate at 27%. An Israeli embassy Amukachi Foundation partner to revive grassroots football. You are watching Aso Briefing. Watch us live on DSTV channel 392, Star Times channel 127, and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. We now go ahead with details of all our stories. We start on security matters, where President Bola Tinubu has ordered a total security barricade over forest in Kwara State, following recent kidnappings and terrorist activities. The president also directed the Air Force to expand its air surveillance across the innermost parts of the forest in Kwara State. Special advisor to the president on media and public communications, Sunday Dari, who disclosed this on Tuesday on his X handle, said the presidential directive also applies to Kebbi and Niger State axis, where many people are expected to be rescued. According to him, the 24-hour air surveillance is to be maintained to complement the boots on the ground, while communities are also urged to provide timely information about strange movements and activities to aid the work of the security forces. Now, President Bola Tinubu has forwarded the Legal Practitioners Act Repeal and Reenactment Bill to the National Assembly as part of major reforms aimed at strengthening legal practice in the country for immediate consideration. The proposed legislation seeks to enforce higher ethical standards, improve accountability within the profession, and expand access to justice across the country. Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who read the president's correspondence during plenary on Tuesday, disclosed that the bill introduces several key provisions, including the issuance of practice licenses to lawyers, a mandatory 2-year tutelage period for new legal practitioners, and compulsory continuous professional development programs. Still from the National Assembly, Senate has adjourned plenary following the passing of one of its members, Senator Okechukwu Eze, who represented Enugu North Senatorial District. Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele announced the sad news of Senator Eze's demise, describing it as a painful loss to the Red Chamber, and moved the motion to adjourn the plenary as a mark of respect. Following the motion, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, led the chamber in observing a minute's silence. He also ordered arrangements for condolence visit to the late senator's family. The Senate has adjourned until the next legislative day and will hold a valedictory session in tribute to Senator Eze. May he rest in peace. Now, the Federal Capital Territory Administration on Tuesday dismissed reports circulating on social media and broadcast platforms claiming that all government schools in the FCT had been directed to shut down by November 28, 2025, insisting that no such decision was taken at any level of the administration. Senior Special Assistant to the FCT Minister on Public Communications and Social Media, Larry Olayenka, stated that the Minister, Wilson Wiki, has consequently ordered the immediate suspension of the Mandate Secretary for Education, Dr. Olnami Hayu, over the controversy triggered by an unauthorized circular. Olayenka further disclosed that the acting head of service, Mrs. Nancy Sabanti Nathan, has been directed to discipline the Director of School Services, Mrs. Aisha Tisani Al-Hassan, in line with civil service rules. The administration also assured residents, particularly students, of adequate security measures, noting that the minister has ordered the resumption of Operation Sweep and other security initiatives across the territory. Speaking at media interface on Tuesday evening, the suspended Mandate Secretary, Dr. Olnami Hayu, denied authorizing any directive for schools to shut down. He said he was taken aback by the circular and insisted that the official who signed it had neither the authority or the clearance to do so. Still from the FCT, where the minister has warned contractors handling waste disposal in the nation's capital that challenges and difficulties cannot be used as excuses for non-performance. Wike, during a meeting with the contractors on Tuesday, emphasized that the problems have been identified and solutions were being implemented, warning that his administration will not tolerate any form of sabotage or incompetence. The minister stated that he has been conducting personal inspections of various districts, including Asokura and Utaku, where he observed significant issues, particularly with compliance. He also appealed against corruption and compromise, suggesting that such actions could have personal consequences. Despite acknowledging potential challenges such as delayed payments, the minister reaffirmed his commitment to supporting the contractors, urging them to remain diligent. He also urged participants to intensify their efforts and ensure rapid and noticeable improvement in the cleanliness of the Federal Capital City. Now, the chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, Mr. Christopher Zakami Kalangu, has further strengthened his administration with the appointment of Perpetual Ohama as consultant on the recovery of AMAC properties and land matters. The strategic appointment underscores the chairman's commitment to safeguarding council assets, resolving irregularities in land administration, and ensuring a transparent and prudent management of AMAC properties for the benefit of residents. A statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant of Media and Public Affairs to the chairman, Mr. Kingsley Madaki, noted that Mr. Kalangu charged Ohama to deploy her vast expertise and extensive public sector experience. According to the statement, the appointment is both strategic and necessary in order to streamline and strengthen AMAC's asset recovery processes. As consultant on the recovery of AMAC properties and land matters, OAMA is expected to conduct a comprehensive audit and review of all AMAC-owned properties and land parcels, identify and document cases of encroachment, illegal disposal, or improper use of council assets, among other things. The new AMAC administration reaffirmed its commitment to transparency, accountability, and due process in land management. The appointment of OAMA is a decisive step towards safeguarding public assets and strengthening institutional integrity. Now, a non-governmental organization committed to promoting good governance, the Community Structure Foundation (CSF), is ramping up efforts to educate Nigerians on the importance of a transparent and credible electoral process. Briefing journalists in Abuja, the national coordinator, Engineer Daniel Balaribi, warned that protecting Nigeria's democracy requires preventing any drift towards authoritarianism as the country moves closer to the 2027 general elections. Oluwapelumi Adeyemi reports.
A community-based organization known as the Community Structure Foundation for Good Governance organized a national summit to reawaken and mobilize Nigerians in adhering to the progress and development of the country through credible, free and fair elections. The national coordinator, Community Structure Foundation, Engineer Daniel Balaribi, emphasized on the key measures in ensuring a credible election.
The purpose of our coming together is actually to mobilize people who will serve as catalysts for the change in our electoral process. So it is our duty, this summit is to reawaken the consciousness of Nigerians towards selecting credible leaders through proper electoral process. How? By ensuring that, yes, they register to be voters. 2, they vote. 3, they protect their votes. It is not just casting your vote and then going back. No, you stay to make sure that the number of people that voted reflect on the electoral documents.
Former Governor of Anambra State and 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi, represented by Chief Peter Ame, stated the importance of accountability during elections and urged citizens to shun manipulations of electoral process.
You can't have accountability and transparency when people walk through the window to gain access to government. If people get elected through the normal channel, through the normal process, they will be accountable to the people. One thing that I'm very sure in my many years, over 20 years of practicing in this multi-party democratic environment, is to make sure that all our elections are conducted in one day. If our elections are conducted in one day, it will reduce voter apathy, it will reduce pressure, and it will reduce cost of conducting the election by 50%.
Speaking also at the summit, Action Democratic Congress ADC chairmanship candidate Dr. Moses Paul and other dignitaries urged Nigerians to unite by shunning all forms of electoral malpractices.
And that's why when people speak about vote buying or vote snatching or rigging, young people must wake up and look beyond that. It is in time like this that patriots must have to wake up. There is no giving up.
And one of the things that is affecting us is voter education. It's affecting us a great deal, where the citizens, the voters are not educated enough to be able to stand up, believe in something. Then what you are likely to have is what you are saying. I believe that is something that needs to be properly articulated.
The Community Structure Foundation for Good Governance reiterated its commitment in reaching out to large number of citizens by educating them on the importance of making right choices of candidates during elections. By Lumi Adeyemi, Aso Television News.
When Aso Briefing returns, more stories on business and more. Please stay with us.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go! Lights, camera, action. Put your mind to it, look the life that you remember.
Stay connected. Stay with us, starting from Yanga and Jolly.
You are watching Aso Briefing. Watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on UHF band channel 38. And the news continues. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to a safer, more efficient and globally competitive aviation sector. Speaking at the quarterly stakeholders engagement in Abuja, Keyamo said the ministry's priorities for 2025 align with the presidential deliverables and are focused on safety support for local airlines, infrastructure upgrades, human capacity development and improved revenue generation. He noted progress in aircraft leasing arrangements and said all aviation agencies are now working under a unified strategic direction. The special advisor to the president on policy and head of the Central Results Delivery Coordination Unit, Haji Hadiza Bala Usman, represented by the aviation sector manager, Dr. Hendrik Odige, commended ongoing reforms, while aviation agencies highlighted achievements in airport upgrades, staff training, safety systems, and performance-based navigation. The engagement brought together pilots, airline operators, customs, NDLEA, and other stakeholders committed to enhancing Nigeria's aviation services. Now, still from the aviation sector, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Dr. Yakubu Adam Ofarmata, has assumed duty, calling for stronger collaboration among staff, agencies, and stakeholders to boost the sector's impact. Ofarmata pledged to build on the foundations laid by his predecessor, focusing on staff development, professionalism, and welfare. Outgoing Permanent Secretary Dr. Ibrahim Abubakar Kana praised the ministry's experienced workforce and urged them to give Ofarmata full support for continuity. Aviation directors expressed appreciation to Dr. Kana and assured the new Permanent Secretary of their cooperation. The ceremony concluded with the formal signing of handing over documents. Now, the National Orientation Agency and Values for Daily Living (VDL) organization have partnered to promote national values and civic engagement in Nigeria. The partnership was formalized on November 24, 2025, when VDL representatives met with NOA Director General Malanlare Isa Inlu at the agency's headquarters. The partnership aims to strengthen national collaboration on values, orientation, moral development, and citizenship education. VDL, a character-building organization, addresses moral decline among young people through youth engagement, community outreach, and educational partnerships. VDL's annual Values Advocacy Conference, Take It Back Conference, brings together stakeholders to discuss values formation and national moral renewal. The conference features panel discussions, expert contributions, and strategies for societal transformation. Malam Onilu commended VDL's work, noting alignment with NOA's Nigerian Identity Project and National Values Charter. NOA has introduced heritage and citizenship studies in primary and secondary schools, and VDL's materials complement this effort. Both parties will explore partnerships in curriculum development, literature review, and youth-focused values education, ensuring values education becomes integral to Nigeria's national development agenda. Now on business, the Central Bank of Nigeria has retained the monetary policy rate (MPR) at 27%, while adjusting the standing corridor around the MPR in order to maintain the economic sustainability progress and achieve low and stable inflation. Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Olayemi Kadosu, in Abuja during a press briefing with newsmen after the bank's 303rd Monetary Policy Committee meeting, disclosed holding other parameters constant while adjusting the standing facility corridor around the MPR. Business correspondent Ile Media tells us more.
Addressing newsmen on the outcome of the Monetary Policy Committee MPC meeting in Abuja, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Olayemi Kadosu, announced that the committee decided to retain, among others, the monetary policy rate MPR at 27% while making an adjustment to the standing corridor with the aim of maintaining the economic progress and sustaining low and stable inflation. Other parameters held constant are the liquidity ratio at 30%, the cash reserve requirement CRR at 45% for deposit money banks, 16% and 75% for merchant banks and non-TSA public sector deposits, while adjusting the standing facility corridor at plus 50 minus 450 basis points around the MPR. Reaffirming commitment to a data-driven assessment of developments, the committee commended the continued deceleration in headline inflation on a year-on-year basis for the 7th consecutive month in October 2025 to 16.05%. The committee further attributed the favorable development to several factors, including the sustained monetary policy tightening, stable exchange rate, increased capital inflows, and surplus current account balance. According to the committee, inflation is, however, projected to remain above pre-pandemic levels in the near term, while applauding the collaborative effort of both the fiscal and monetary authorities, which led to the recent upgrade of Nigeria's sovereign credit rating by major rating agencies, as well as delisting of the country from the Financial Action Task Force FATF grey list. Ile Emeje, Aso Television News.
Now, the Israeli embassy in Nigeria has partnered with the Daniel Amokachi Foundation to launch the maiden Jerry Halevi Cup, a grassroots football tournament aimed at rediscovering Nigeria's street football culture while honoring the country's first foreign national team coach, Israeli tactician Moshe Jerry Bet Halevi. Olua Pelumi Adeyemi tells us more.
It was an insightful moment as Daniel Amokachi's foundation and Israeli embassy partnered to hold the maiden Jerry Halevi Cup to celebrate the first Nigerian coach, Jerry Halevi, to reawaken the minds of grassroots footballers and promoting unity through sport. Ex-Super Eagles player Daniel Amokachi stated that the tournament pays tribute to first Nigerian coach Jerry for his discipline, passion, and vision, which helped to shape the country in the early foundation of sports in the country.
I want to take the medium to say thank you to the ambassador of the Israeli embassy for having this initiative that will go a long way in football development in Nigeria. And he definitely assured me that it will be an annual event by special grace.
Israeli ambassador to Nigeria described the tournament as far more than a football tournament, but a way of celebrating friendship and a testament to the strong and growing bond between Nigeria and Israel.
This event is a special event because Mr. Cherry has been the first one who has been opening the doors for us, for foreigners who come to work in football in Nigeria. So some way he's the door opener for all us scouts, coaches, agents who come to here. So that way it's wonderful that this kind of event is arranged to respect his life work.
Some coaching staff and players that participated shared their thoughts about the tournament.
In Nigeria now, that's what we want and that's what we need.
because of you can see most of what is happening in other places. You know, there are a lot of division and other things. So to bring people together, you know, one Nigeria, you understand, Nigeria is our country. You know, and then this football unite even a lot of youth and even the most people that they love football.
Yes, we need people who understand this game. We need people who are willing to invest. We need the government to give us an enabling environment for both those willing to play and those willing to invest.
I thank God for the opportunity to be a footballer. So many people wish they had this talent, but I'm privileged to play this football. So I think everything is going well.
The maiden Jerry Bet Halevi Cup drew teams from 6 Abuja area councils in a street-style 7-a-side contest that attracted hundreds of young players. With Lumi Adeyemi, Aso Television News.
And that's Aso Briefing for today. Many thanks for watching. I am Harisi Raju. Have a great day.